y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alexis, and if you're new here, you know, hit that subscribe button and that post notification bell so you can be notified every time I post. I typically post anywhere. I don't have a day, but if I did have a day, it would be Tuesdays, which is today. So today I'm going to be filming a breastfeeding journey plus tips video. I've been breastfeeding for literally since May of 2020. So it's almost been 3 years since I started breastfeeding. And when I was pregnant with my son, this is the beginning of the story, like my journey. When I was pregnant with my son, everybody asked me if I'm going to bottle feed, if I'm going to formula feed, if I'm going to breastfeed. I always said I would never breastfeed. I wasn't interested at all. I didn't know what the big deal was. I was like strictly formula. But when my son came out, they were like, do you want to try breastfeeding? And I was like, I'll try it when I'm in here so they could get the cholesterol or whatever. So, you know, he could get a little bit of the, you know, the vitamins, the antibodies, whatever. And I'll try it. So when I tried it, my son did not latch on, and it honestly hurt my feelings. It really hurt my feelings, and I was so hell-bent on getting him to try. So I tried literally for an hour before we gave him a bottle, literally right after he was born. Then we ended up giving him formula. When we got home though, my milk started coming in about 2 to 3 days after we got home. My milk started coming in, so you know, I was engorged, it hurt. I wanted a way to you know, relieve the pain. But once I started hand expressing into a bottle, because originally I was going to dump it, but I was like, damn, like I really produce milk. I was kind of excited about it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to start pumping, and I'm going to supplement with formula because I wasn't making enough at the time. So I started self-expressing, well, expressing every few hours. And I tried to breastfeed him again once I realized, like, you know, milk was coming out. I was like, let me try to breastfeed him again. He would not latch on. So fast forward till a month goes by, he hits a month old. Meanwhile, I've been expressing milk the whole time, putting it in bottles, and I just started pumping like 2 weeks after I started expressing. So when he was 2 weeks old, I started, you know, pumping milk instead of hand expression. So I was pumping, but it was hurting. I was getting stretch marks all like around my boob, and it was just a lot. Like pumping really hurt. So I was just like, and I was still adamant on getting him to try. So when he turned, literally the day he turned a month old, May 10th 2020, I literally tried to latch him on again, and he latched on just a little bit, and that got me excited. So that day all I did was try to get him to latch on. He latched on finally, and he drank the milk directly from my breast, and it just made me feel like, you know, oh my gosh, I could really do this. Like, it made me excited that he needed me in that way, and that it was something that, you know, we could do while bonding, and I'm also, you know, satisfying his needs of like being hungry and stuff like that. So I really, like, it really made me happy to know that I could breastfeed, even though I had no interest and didn't want to do it at all. So after I found out I could breastfeed my son, you know, it was on for that. I stopped the bottles immediately because I didn't want to cause nipple confusion. I started doing research about breastfeeding and all that stuff. I found out all the benefits of it, and I was just like, breastfeeding is what I want to do. It's what I'm going to do. So after he was a month old, he was strictly breastfed until he was around 12 months. Like around when he turned 1, he started to wean a little bit. But then we found out I was pregnant with my daughter, and he had interest in breast milk and did not want to wean anymore. Like, we got him down to just nighttime feeds, and then he was like, no, I want milk again. So he would constantly drink milk, like literally 36 times a day, like he was still an infant when he was really going on to that toddler stage, along with food and juice and water and stuff like that. So I found out I was pregnant with her when he was around 1, and then what's it called, fast forward to when she was born, I was still literally breastfeeding him my whole pregnancy. Dior didn't stop breastfeeding. Like, I didn't stop breastfeeding him until he was like 2 years old and 1 month. My daughter, on the other hand, when she was born in the hospital, she latched on right after birth. Literally, I knew I wanted to breastfeed already because I was already, you know, going through it with my son, and I just knew that's what I felt was best for us. But fed is best. Don't think you gotta breastfeed, or don't think that's the best. As long as your child's fed, that's all that matters. I'm not one of them crunchy ass moms. But yeah, I just felt like that was what was best for us, and it's just easier to feed her whenever, you know, I don't need a bottle or anything. The only hard part about it is just I'm the only one who can feed her. But now that she's about to be 1, it's about to, you know, cut it. I'm about to be done. But anyways, she's now 11 months. Dior stopped breastfeeding at like 25 months, so he was like 2. So he was like 2 when I stopped breastfeeding. 2 and 1 month, like I said. So I stopped breastfeeding him, then I still continued on to feed Dream. So obviously now she's breastfeeding as we speak. She's 11 months old. She'll be 1 in literally 2.5 weeks. And we'll probably work on the weaning process after she turns a year old. I have already started trying to give her a little bit of whole milk in a bottle, but since I don't pump or have any extra milk, it's hard to mix it, so she starts to drink it. So yeah, that's my breastfeeding journey. So I'm still breastfeeding, almost 3 years in. Hopefully I won't make it to 3 years, but you never know with these kids, because breastfed babies are so attached. They have separation anxiety, especially if you're strictly breastfeeding, and you know, they find comfort in it. So sometimes they don't even want to feed because they're hungry. They want to feed because it's their way of being with you.
I got to catch a book, Mommy.
Yeah?
I'm catching a book up there.
Okay, baby. So some tips I would have if you're breastfeeding would be to definitely keep yourself hydrated and eat. They say, you know, hydration. I heard, like, if you watch a TikTok, mainly some people like lactation counselors and stuff are going to tell you like, oh, you know, it doesn't really matter, your breast milk is made from blood. But what I found best to keep my supply, because some people start breastfeeding and they can't keep their supply up, what I found best was to drink and eat. If I wasn't drinking and eating, my supply wouldn't be up the way it's supposed to be. But you know, if you drink and eat the way you're supposed to, you'll be good. My favorite drink that I started drinking only because I was breastfeeding was Body Armor. Now that's my drink I've been drinking this whole time. So I've been drinking that drink for like 2.5 years now, only because I breastfeed. Honestly, I think it helped me personally because you know, I was never dehydrated. I was always hydrated, so that could never be an excuse as to why I wasn't producing enough milk. Don't mind my ripped paper curtain. It's ghetto in here. I gotta get it fixed. Anyways, so the #1 tip I would have is to stay hydrated and eat when you're supposed to eat. At least eat 3 times a day. Snacks in between. That's the thing that helps the most, in my opinion. Get enough sleep, because if you're not yourself and if you're not taking care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of your babies. Baby, be careful before you fall off the bed. So, alright, jump right there. So, they're my #1 3 tips. And I also, you know, ate the lactation cookies from, I think, the Munchkin brand. I used to love them. I don't know if they help personally. I don't know if they help, but they helped me. They were good. So they helped me. And don't give up. Even if you pump and you notice you're only pumping 2 ounces at a time, don't take that as, oh, I'm only getting 2 ounces, my baby's still hungry. Your body, the breast milk works as a supply and demand. The more you breastfeed, the more milk you'll produce. And then once your baby, like say you've been breastfeeding since she's a newborn, she's 3 months old, your milk will start to regulate to where you only make enough milk for your baby. Like, your body will make what your baby needs, unless your baby's like in a stage where they're, you know, constantly eating. But other than, so guys, as I'm editing, I realized the camera cut off a little bit earlier. So as I was saying, your body works as a supply and demand for your child. The more your baby eats directly on the breast, or the more you pump, the more milk you'll create. So that's pretty much all I recommend, is staying consistent, keeping yourself hydrated, eat, try to eat healthy, but eat what you want. As long as you're fed, you'll be good. And other than that, that's about it. But I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn that post notification bell to be notified every time I post. But, you know, I'll catch y'all next time.